Nuno and João are partners from the Walking Mentorship, and they bring the inside look in the life of the people they walk with. The podcast Keep Walking With Me searches for potential solutions towards the best version of ourselves. Every month, we walk together with a guest. There is a disclaimer that needs to be shared. After listening to this program, you might feel the urge to step outside and go for a long walk. But don't worry, that is absolutely normal.
Welcome to the podcast Keep Walking With Me. Today, we have a very special guest with us. So let me start by asking, in a nutshell, who is Team Vieira?
Okay, I'm a prolific walker. I'm really good at walking, not at many other things in sports at the moment. So I stick to what I'm good at, focus on what I'm good at. So I love doing my 8-kilometer walk in the morning with my friend here. Obviously, doesn't tell anyone my secrets because his name is Rambo and it's this miniature Yorkshire with the heart of a Rottweiler. No one better tell him that he's that small. But who am I? Yeah, well, I'm an optimist. I'm definitely an optimist that knows and is a realist, because I do know that not everything goes well and many times we're disappointed in life. But the truth is that for me, I'd rather be an optimist and be half right than be a pessimist and be right all the time. That would be super sad for me. So I'm a happy optimist. I really do believe people are good overall. I think there's a lot of good in this world. I try do my part in improving the world, etc. So all that kind of stuff. I'm a family man, definitely a family man. I think I'm a really good dad. You know, I work hard at that. So when you work hard at something, you get good at it. So I work super hard at that. All my 2 boys and my girl. And I think I'm a decent husband. But don't ask my wife because, you know, they always expect even more. But I think she would probably also agree that I'm an okay husband, and I work hard at being a good husband as well. But overall, yeah, I'm someone who tries, not scared of failure. Definitely not scared of failure. I think when there are problems or failures, when I get more excited to do something in it. So yeah, that's me, Tim. Okay.
So, well, considering how much you love walking, can you tell us of one favorite route, one specific path that you like to walk? Is there any secret place you can share with us?
I think I've got a few. I think I'll be very quick with them. I think in the Alentejo, I love the Fisherman's Trail. I walk Fisherman's Trail from Carvalhal through to about 4 Ks, and then I turn around and I come back 4 Ks, and it's beautiful. You walk along the Costa Vicentina, so it's really beautiful. In Cascais, I walk from my house 4 kilometers, and you sort of go along the Peradão, and you really, you know, it's beautiful. And I like to do it at 6:30 in the morning, so there's very few people. It's just stunning. So I do that. And then, you know, my biggest walk I've done is the coast to coast, which is to cross England from one side to the other. And that was a hell of an experience. It was 350 kilometers of walking over 13 days. But it was lovely. It really, really was something spectacular. And it's something I want to do now with my boys. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, I guess that Costa Vicentina, we can challenge you to do a bit longer, because it's one of our programs. We do it for 7 days, about a stretch of about 100 kilometers. So you should put that in the agenda. The one in UK, definitely, it's on our wish list. But since we got so inspired here, maybe it's a good time, Tim, to ask you for a first music that you want to share with us. And maybe, you know, tell us why would you pick that music?
Yeah, I'd go with Forever Young, Alphaville, because I think that's my spirit. I think my spirit is forever young. I might not look like it, you know, I'm covering my gray hair, but in the heart, in the soul, forever young. I love the words. I love what it, you know, I love to sing it to everyone who has a birthday. And I think That's the song I'll go with. Alphaville, Forever Young.
All right. Let's go back to the 80s then.
Yeah.
Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young or let us live forever. We don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in a sandpit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sad man. Can you imagine when this race is won? Turn our golden faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, we're getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever, forever, forever young. I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever young. Some are like water, some are like the heat. Some are a melody and some are the beat. Sooner or later they all will be gone. Why don't they stay young? It's so hard to get old without a cause. I don't want to perish like a fleeting horse. It's like diamonds in the sun, and diamonds are forever. So many adventures couldn't happen today. So many songs we forgot to play. So many dreams swinging out of the blue. But let them come true. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever, forever, forever young. I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever, forever, forever young. I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live
So thanks for the music, Tim. Really a good reminder and certainly a good motto. Not long ago, I witnessed the presentation of the Brave Generation Academy. I was there when you were doing the public presentation. And what most impressed me, I mean, the whole project is pretty impressive, and we will give you the opportunity to go about that. But what most impressed me was your commitment to it. It kind of looks like a legacy project for you. What drove you to start the Brave Generation Academy? And then you can explain us a little bit more about what it is.
Yeah, I think what drove me is I did want to make some kind of impact in education, because I really do believe that we're doing it the wrong way at the moment. I think it's not relevant to our youth. And I think our youth, the teenage youth, really is suffering with having to, like fit in the box. And a lot of them are different, and a lot of them are unique. And I think that what we've got is something that tries to force everyone to be the same, and that's not going to work for this generation. and it's not what we need to solve problems in this generation. We need people that start to become more creative, more entrepreneurial, that really do concentrate on their strengths and become better at their strengths and don't have to be good at everything. Because with everything, we can find somewhere else or find that right person who knows something we don't and, get them on board. So I've started looking at how could we look at education and evolve it. How could we make it, taking what we have, which is the online and the offline, and take the best of both worlds and start to use that to come up with what we've done with Brave Generation Academy. I also wanted to really concentrate on the teenagers because that's where I thought I could make the most impact, and that's really where we got to make impact by the time they go to university or go work. If they're not in the right mindset and so on, it's very tough to break them away. So it was the driving force, and what we've been managing to do is work 100% focused on this. So in my life, I got rid of everything else. I sort of don't have any other businesses. I stepped away from everything else, and I just really concentrated on Brave Generation Academy. I started getting our teams recruiting and getting the right people around us, obviously investing quite a bit, and it's still not I would say a cash flow positive business. But with regards to what we're doing and the kids flourishing and so on, we're getting more and more great stories, and we also adapting more and more because it's still quite young. But this September comes and we've got a new curriculum coming on board with Brave and Beyond. We've got the youth, the young kids, the lower secondary getting books, so that there will be a mix of online and books. So we're constantly learning and adapting, and we're being brave enough to make the changes. And I think that's what's great about not having a traditional school, because tradition sort of stops you from doing anything differently. And if I had to give you an elevator pitch, it really is about making a few little differences, like not having holidays and being open all year, and kids and parents can go on holidays when they want. It's about having learning coaches that create relationships with these learners and then inspire them to try things. It's about taking away anxiety that it's one exam, and if you don't do well, you're in trouble. We make it that you can do 2 or 3 exams and get through there. So it's a lot of these little things, it's that you can go at your own pace. It's flexible. We've got classes that are mixed in ages. So we've got older kids helping younger kids. There's a lot of empathy between this. So it's all those things that actually are making BGA. And obviously, we're learning, but we've learned a lot. We're now close to 700 learners. We've got 52 hubs. It's getting to the point where a point of no return. And I think that's what's exciting. So kids who come through, they start to get into the system. They realize maybe this is how school should operate and not the other way around. So, yeah, very exciting.
Well, Tim, you said that, and obviously BGA is still young, but looking into retrospective, looking back, what were the greatest challenges to start BGA?
It's obviously, convincing parents to look at this model, because their own parents went to traditional schools, or their grandparents went to traditional schools, and they went to traditional schools, their kids were in traditional schools. So it's very difficult to get a parent to just say, okay, look, let's try this. But at the same time, we look at how many people at the age of 45 are not happy. And they all went to traditional schools. So I thought, it's time to start becoming brave. And obviously I always say the name Brave is maybe more for the parents than the kids, because the kids adapt easily and they get into it. But the parents do take a bit of time, to get going. So I think parents were definitely what we had to overcome. And now with the first exams going through and all that, and last year some exams going through, we had an amazing result. So they're starting to trust the system and stepping away. We haven't been great at informing them about every step of the way, because we really concentrate on the learners. So sometimes we forget a bit about the parent. But even that, we're going to improve now. We've appointed someone to be our parent liaison, you know, so we'll talk more to parents and so on, because we know they've also got a lot to offer. But I would say parents were the big thing. And then obviously there's always governments, you know, like governments is a huge issue. Some governments in the US, it was like open doors and welcome. South Africa, welcome. Most of Africa, it's just welcome and come give us opportunities to compete worldwide by getting an education that counts. But Asia, the same thing, super easy, open to going through and getting the system. But then obviously, you know, countries like Portugal and that, it is harder. It's, you know, we're not a school, we're different. So it becomes like a huge issue. And even though the curriculum we do is accepted and supported by them and has, you know, equivalency, it's still always a little bit difficult, you know. So I think that's the reality with the challenges we get, but we overcome them, because this is more important than giving up, you know. So I look at these challenges as always as we can overcome it, we can do it. I think the parents we've overcome. We've got about 1,200 parents now, so, and counting, and every day counting. We had 25 new kids this week, so obviously it's still going up. But governments, you know, we've got more meetings and more meetings, and they don't say we're illegal, and they don't say we're legal because we don't fit in the system, so they're not sure where we are. But at the same time, they don't tell us, you know, how do we make this legal? They say it's a great project, but we stuck there at the great project without just making it like, you know, giving us recognition, let's say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you know, we're getting it from Cambridge, we got it now from Pearson's at Excel. So all these international boards, or we're not just accredited by them, we're actually a school by them. So, you know, it's incredible that we've managed that, because I would prefer this than getting recognized by the local government, but not getting that, you know. So it is, you know, we're on our way. I think we will get there, because soon it'll be 1,000 kids, and then it'll be 2,000 and 3,000, and something has to be done. And someone has to be brave enough and do something about it. So let's see.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim.
I definitely believe it will happen. It's gonna, yeah, the government is gonna struggle with it, and obviously there are antibodies to it, but it will go through. But actually, it's funny. This is we in our programs we always argue that you only grow outside of your comfort zone, and actually that's kind of being brave, going outside of your comfort zone. And
yeah.
You were just mentioning that. So maybe you could tell us a little bit more about what is changing this year in BGA, because I'm really curious.
Yeah, so, you know, first we had to get the international British curriculum approved and on our platforms and get it going and get kids comfortable with that, and parents and so on. But it wasn't what was driving me. I really wanted our kids, our students to become relevant in today's world. So Brave and Beyond, it really is a partnership with the lady that started the whole curriculum. She was from Harvard, understood that the needs today are different to the needs of the past. So she managed to start doing these modules, and we've decided that these modules are so important that we want our kids to do them. So our kids will start doing these modules running over a year. They cover communication, leadership, entrepreneurship, time management, all those things that, you know, we don't get taught, but we need. So then now we will get taught. There will be every 2 weeks, our learners will have a live session where they talk to alumni from different places, and they'll discuss what they've learned and how to implement it, etc. So it's exciting. We couldn't do this a while back because parents wanted something else, but now they are open to this, and I think they're going to be happy because they're going to see results. They're going to see their kids growing. They're going to see their kids more engaged. And we can't just rate your biology and your geography and your math. We need kids that are actually a lot more complete, more holistic. And I think that's what we're busy working on here. And it's going to make a big difference, and not just for Brave Generation kids, but we're now looking at how we can implement that into a few public schools where they can actually do our courses as well on Brave and Beyond. So there are people out there in the public schools that want difference, that want things to change. So that's exciting as well. And then that's the only way we're going to make the country better. It's the only way, by making the country better, we'll make the world a little bit better. Because we waste too much time on finding all the divisive things, and yet there's so many things that can unite us, and that's what we want to talk about, and stay away from all the divisive ones.
Well, absolutely. And actually, Tim, let's do a bit of time traveling here, because when we look at statistics, we know that there are less and less people willing to become a teacher, and there are more and more teachers retiring. So that's a fact. On the other side, technology is changing dramatically the way people learn versus the way students still learn in traditional school, which sometimes seems like a tremendous gap. So in your opinion, how do you envision the future of teaching?
Yeah, I think, teachers are incredible humans. They really do want to spend their time and work with the students and inspire them and get them out there and make them better people for the world. The problem is that we've complicated their lives so much. We keep giving them work to do that means very little, more Excel spreadsheets to complete, local politics in the school and parent politics outside. And by the time they get to the kids, they've got very little energy and time. So I think, the way it's going is that today, 50% of people want to be a teacher that wanted to be a teacher 15 years back. So we've got a problem. If we carry on teaching the way we're teaching, we don't have teachers. We don't have enough teachers. And we already see it. Just here in Portugal, 45,000 kids don't have teachers to cover all the needs. So that's already a problem. But we keep just moving along and hoping this problem will resolve itself, but it won't. So we do need solutions. And I think what we do have is amazing young people that want to inspire people, that want to have a job that makes them happy. And using technology, using teachers, reskilling teachers, we can do that. So it's not, all of a sudden, 2 years ago, the learning coach didn't exist. Today, I've got a girl that's at BGA that will become a learning coach going forward. Within 6 months, she's finished her A-levels. She wants to become a learning coach. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's exciting, and she doesn't want to be a teacher. She wants to be a learning coach. And as I said, it's been hard work because we didn't know if it would work. And this is almost like a guarantee stamp that this does work, that people want to. Because I remember when teachers could teach and they had respect and all this, we would also want to be a teacher. But nowadays we don't, because we don't see that. So it is super exciting. I think, we can solve a lot of problems.
Wow.
I really agree with that. I think, and I think you really hit the nail with this. By addressing education, you will be changing the future. So it's really brilliant. Well, and maybe it's time for your second music. What you say? Would you like to listen now?
I'm going to bring a little bit of my African DNA. So I'll go with Scatterlings of Africa by Johnny Clegg. All right. A little bit of Africa.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's travel down south.
Sinking low, scatterlings and Jaded eyes and weary brows seek refuge in the night. They are the scatterings of Africa, each uprooted one. On the road to Bellamanga, where the world began. I love the scatterings of Africa, each and every one. In their hearts a burning hunger beneath the copper sun. Ancient bones from old divide, echoes of the very first cry. Who made me here and why? Beneath the copper sun. African idea, African idea. Make the future clear, make the future clear. And we are scatterings of Africa, both you and I. We run the road to Bellamanga, beneath the copper sky. And we are scatterings of Africa, journey to the sky. Far below we live forever, dreams of what we were.
Well, really interesting. We definitely need to dig more into this music because it's different for sure. Well, Tim, I read that you did a great trip around the world with your family not too long ago, and you wrote that you learned a lot in this process. Is there any particular learning that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, so it wasn't too long ago. It was in 2019, but it feels like it was another time. You know, the world changed so much. I arrived here in around October, and 5 months later, you know, we started our lockdowns and all that kind of stuff. And it almost feels like it was a different world. You know, we got on a train and we went through Russia, we went through Mongolia, through China, and then into Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Japan, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and then back here. We couldn't do that today. I can't even imagine us trying to do that today.
Yeah.
So complicated, etc. So it was another time, which is so scary to say. It was a time that I hope we come back to because you learn a lot, you know. And when I say we learn a lot, I learned that, you know, we have to be open-minded. People are different, but people want the same things. They want the best for their families. They actually, it's politicians that make us all different. Because overall, everyone I met and everything I did, it was more or less the same. You know, like everyone wanted their kids to be better off than they are, and they're working for that. So just like we have, you know, other lessons that I can say that we learned is that in life we do have to be strong and make tough decisions. So, you know, sometimes we will have to make tough decisions and live with them. You know, like before I left, I made tough decisions so that the business would be strong and there wouldn't be the wrong people there. So I looked at it and I thought, well, maybe this person's not the right person. So I made some decisions, and I'm happy I did them because they really made my trip easier. Because if they were there, I'd always be with those issues, and it would have been unfair to the people that work with them or stayed around them, and it would have been unfair for those people as well. So making tough decisions, I've learned, are very, very important. You know, I think we have to be sort of adaptive, 100%, because things happen. Not everything we plan goes as planned, but don't take it too seriously. You know, I think that's something I've also learned, is that time heals, time solves issues. So give it time. I've also understood that patience is not always a virtue. I think when I know what I want, I don't need patience. But when I don't know what I want, I need patience. I need to wait a bit and the answers will come. But when I do know what I want, I want to do it. And I think then it is a really good thing. You know? So, yeah, so those are some of the things I learned. I learned that my family really is the most important thing for me. And I learned how clever they are and how adaptive they are and how spectacular they are. And they can be much greater than I've been, you know, so it's exciting for me. Yeah, so that's it.
Well, it's so interesting, Tim, when you talk about constraints in our life, because we believe that no matter you know, the constraints in our life, we kind of have an opportunity to make a masterpiece of it. So in your opinion, how can we make a masterpiece of our life?
No, I think, look, there are very little lives that are masterpieces. You know, I think there's a very few lives that everything goes perfect. I think there's a lot of perfect Facebooks and there's a lot of perfect Instagrams, but very few perfect lives. I think you can have a good life and you can have a happy life and you can be you know, you can live in that 1% of, let's say, the people with most joy. But it's not perfect. It's going to have ups and downs, and you've got to live with those ups and downs. I think, you know, for me, I've learned that balance, equilibrium in life is everything. Never too much of one thing or too little of something. You need to have balance in life. I think I've learned that you need to have good people around you. You need to have those people you trust, people that inspire you, people that pick you up when you need it most. And I know who to phone and I know who to spend time with when I need that. And we all need that. We all go through tough times. You know, it's not always, I'm not always, you know, at the top of my game because it is hard out there. And sometimes you might have doubts, but, you know, you need those people that help you to overcome those doubts. So I've also learned that if we want a good life, you need to love a lot. I think you need to really love a lot. And love is not saying, oh, I love you, I love you. It's really when you love, you can forgive. And I think those people closest to us that sometimes hurt us, if we love them a lot, we can forgive them quickly. And that's a big, big advantage. And sometimes, you know, some people take forever to forgive or very difficult to forgive. And it builds barriers and it makes life difficult. And yeah, I've learned that sometimes I'll even take the blame and move on quicker than have this you know, period in life where you're not forgiving and you're not moving forward. And then also I've understood that you've got to move forward. You can't live with the past, hoping that this would have been different or that should have been different or I could have done this and I could have done that. No, you know, it is the life, it is your choices, and you move on and you live with them and you don't look back. And if you do that, I think you've got more of a chance to have a happy life, you know, so than most, because it's such basic stuff, but sometimes people just don't realize it.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Yeah, it really makes you wonder. if you think about it. Well, let me jump here into a more practical, less reflexive, but still precious question, at least from my point of view, because you do a lot of things. You really do a lot of things. I mean, we've witnessed that a few times. I mean, it's unbelievable how much you do, and still you are still full of energy and still very optimistic. So, what's the secret of all that energy? How do you do that?
You know, do things that give you purpose, like do things that really you feel like are impacting and helping someone or making a difference in this world. If you're doing that, you never get tired, you know. If you're doing stuff because of the wrong reason or with the wrong motivation, you're going to be exhausted all the time, you know. I look at it, I'm probably one of the busiest people I know, but I'm yet one of the people that spend the most time with my kids and family because, you know, I'm motivated to do that. That's my purpose, so I do it. And many things I do, I think, you know, I'm doing this because it will leave something for them. And not talking financial side of it, but talking about the legacy side that you mentioned. So when you're doing things that way, I'll rather be doing this and then I'll relax when I'm dead. You know, Brian Adams says that, relax when we're dead, I think it is. So I'll rest when I'm dead or something like that. So that's the way I'm doing it. And I love what I'm doing. I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm one of the blessed ones. I've got an incredible life, you know, like I really do, because every day is different. I don't even look at what I'm doing tomorrow. You know, I start my day and then I look at my agenda and I do that. And I think that's like a privilege. That's a true privilege, you know. I don't actually value anymore. I know I've got a car collection and I've got this, but it's not what I value anymore, you know. I actually haven't bought a new car since 2012. So everyone thinks I've got all these cars and I'm buying. I'm not. They're there. I see them as an investment. I lost a lot of money in a bank that went bankrupt, a green bank that maybe you guys know. And, well, I'll rather look at my cars and know they're there, you know. So it's basic things. It's basic things. But, yeah, I think I'm in a good space in my life, you know. That's what's really nice about it.
Great.
Well,
so maybe you can share.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nuno.
Go ahead, Joe. No, you go.
I'm just thinking that since we are in such a positive vibe, it can be a great opportunity for you to give us your third song.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you two songs and you can pick the one you like most. But I'll go with the Portuguese one, Marisa, The Best Is Still to Come. Or you can go for Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. And both those songs mean something to me. I think the best is still to come. And Brother in Arms, just because I really value those people that are next to me and that are super important to me. Otherwise, I'd go nowhere. So either one means a lot to me. I can't decide now, you know. So I thought I'd decide on one now, but yeah, it's one of those. I'll leave it up to you guys as DJs.
Maybe we can do some innovation here, put one music here and one in the end, so we can fit both.
Yeah,
perfect.
Let's be brave. Yeah.
You see when you ask it in a nice way, you get it easily. Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So let's listen to Marisa.
Que segue e não espera pela gente, cada passo que dermos em
Hoje a semente que dorme na terra e se esconde no escuro que encerra, amanhã nascerá uma flor. Ainda que a esperança da luz seja escassa, a chuva que molha e passa vai trazer numa gota amor. Também eu estou à espera da luz. Deixo-me aqui onde a sombra seduz. Também
estou à espera de mim. Algo me diz que a tormenta passará. É preciso perder para depois se ganhar, e mesmo sem ver, acreditar. É a vida que segue e não espera pela gente. Cada passo que dermos em frente, caminhando sem medo de errar. Creio que a noite sempre se tornará dia, e o brilho que o sol irradia há de sempre me iluminar. Quebro as algemas deste meu lamento, se renasço a cada momento, meu destino na vida é maior. Também eu vou em busca da luz, saio daqui onde a sombra seduz. Também eu estou à espera de mim. Algo me diz que a tormenta passará. É preciso perder para depois se ganhar, e mesmo sem ver, acreditar. Vida que segue e não espera pela gente. Cada passo que dermos em frente, caminhando sem medo de errar. E creio que a noite sempre se tornará dia, e o brilho que o sol irradia há de sempre nos iluminar. Sei que o melhor de mim está para chegar. Sei que o melhor de mim está por chegar. Está para chegar.
Well, thank you, Tim. It's always great to listen to Marisa. We are getting very close to the end of our walk and talk. We have 2 more questions for you. So I'll ask you, looking at the world today, in what are you planning to focus your energy in the near future? We know that BGA is there, but maybe to be a bit more specific, what you really want to do and focus your energy?
Oh, I often think of that, and I think, if I get to change education in the next 3-4 years, then I think I can do even more. And I think it might bring me into politics then, because I think if you can change education, you can change a lot of things. So maybe that, because I just feel like we're lacking leaders at the moment. We're lacking leaders with courage and leaders with values and ethics. We've got leaders that make decisions on polls and decisions that are populist, etc. But they don't look long term, and there is no vision, and we don't create wealth. So maybe that could be a big challenge. It could be also the end of me. As politics is a funny place, but I do want to not complain about things. I want to change things. I definitely don't want to just be content with what it is and complain and be part of the problem. I want to be a solution to what's out there.
So, well, I was just mentioning that I really love this last question we have. And the question is quite simple. If you had a time capsule that you're going to send out into space, or a message in a bottle out to the ocean, whatever you prefer, and you could put whatever you wanted inside. And sometime from now, it might be a day or a million years, someone or some creature will open it and see what you put inside. What would you put inside your time capsule?
Wow, that's a question. All right, you know, I would maybe like put out there something for us never to forget our past, never to forget our history, and I'd put down the names of 5 great people for sure that they should go look at again, because who knows where social media or where Google takes you every single time. I would basically tell them again to just be reminded about the human values and etc. Because you know, I don't know where they'll be by then. But I'm a positive person, and I think in the future people will be better off than they are now. You know? I know that we've got a lot of problems now, but if we even compare it with 100 years ago, we're living longer. We've got less people dying of hunger, and we have actually got maybe more people dying of eating too much. Mm-hmm. I think we've got a world where there is a lot more equality than we believe. We've just got a lot of loud noise that keeps telling us contrary. You know, I would maybe just tell them to think for themselves again, not to you know, listen to all the noise. Maybe I'll just be a little bit of advice. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to be in that bottle and let them rub it and I'll pop out as a genie and see what's happening in the world. That's what I would love. But at the moment, I'm a little bit overweight, so I don't think I'll get in the bottle. But let's see.
That's a brilliant answer. That's a new one. So,
well, thank you so much. I mean, this is absolutely wonderful. We'll definitely listen to Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms in the end. So this is a world premiere. We never did this. This super. And what a pleasure to walk and talk with you, Tim. And best of luck for BGA. And it sounds like a good plan to change the education in the world.
Yeah, I know that. But counting on people like you, because he's a brave dad, as well. And obviously, I'm so grateful for that. Thank you very, very much. Thanks for believing in us as well. So we're going one kid and one parent at a time, and hopefully one government at a time. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
We'll get there. They take a little bit longer. Thank
all the
you.
best. Cheers, guys.
Great.
These mist-covered mountains are home now for me, but my home is the lowlands, and always will be. Someday you'll return to your valleys and your farms, and you'll no longer burn to be brothers in arms. Through these fields of destruction, baptisms of fire, I've witnessed your suffering as the battle raged high, And though it hurt me so bad, in the fear and alarm, you did not desert me, my brothers in arms. There's so many different worlds, so many different suns, and we have just one world, but we live in different ones. Now the sun's gone to hell, and the moon's riding high. Let me bid you farewell. Every man has to die, but it's written in the stars, in every line in your palm. We're fools to make war on our brothers in arms.
Keep Walking With Me, it is a podcast inspired by the walking mentorship experience. Step by step, we walk together towards the best version of ourselves. For more information about our mentoring programs, visit our website walkingmentorship.com.